Our two speakers today are Eladio Lerga, who's the project engineer at Barberan. Hi, Eladio.
Hi, how are you?
And Yaron Eschel, who is responsible for applications and business development here at Highcon.
Hi, hello.
Hi, Yaron. We're hoping to keep this fairly light. So let's start, Eladio, by saying welcome. Thank you for joining us here today.
Thank you to you, Sheila, to invite me.
Before we go into a presentation about Barberan, I think we both agree that digital workflow offers huge benefits, particularly today. Would you agree?
Yeah, completely, Sheila. I always say the same word, that for me, the comparison in between analog and digital, it is analog, it is blind to the market. It is not possible to adapt to the market and the speed that digital can do. As an example, I will explain one history from 4 years ago during Drupa. Last Drupa, Barberan presented one of our digital presses working at 60 meters per minute. And every day we were printing in the same Drupa, like 10,000 square meters of boxes with different sizes, different images, different whatever, just to show to our customers the capabilities of the press. Unfortunately, every day we had to launch to the waste those samples because the people didn't take all the samples that we were doing. But during I think it was on June the 3rd, the fighter Muhammad Ali passed away. The same day, one of our graphic specialists took this picture, and we started to produce this picture like hell. I have to tell you, every day we were finishing all the samples. Nobody in the exhibition was leaving the exhibition without a sample of Muhammad Ali printed by Barberan. And the whole thing was that the people were even disposed to pay for the sample. This is how digital performs. I mean, by changing the rules.
So digital changes the rules, and how are you seeing the rules changing in the atmosphere that we're living in today of COVID-19?
Well, in the end, digital is adaptation. And in the end, our customers has had more opportunities to adapt to the market than the others. Why? Because they can adapt, or they have been producing locally what before was impossible to do, was coming from other countries or even other suppliers far away. Today, our customers has increased the production. This is something that we know because our ink manufacturers, or the ink manufacturers that cooperate with us are saying that they are delivering more ink than before. This means that in the end the consumption has increased, and this is also because the locality of the production. Okay.
So now, your turn to tell us all about Barberan.
Well, Barberan is a company it's a small company, but with a long history. We started in 1929, like an ironsmith in the locality of Castelldefels in Barcelona. We are today 180 people. Of course, not all of them today are exclusively in Barcelona, because we have also another company in the United States which is supporting our customers there. And mainly we are split into two business. One is decorative, where what we do is to laminate or to print or even coat or finish any surface for decoration for companies like IKEA or Kronospan or big companies that even they are printing on metal to produce metal structures. And packaging. Packaging is one of the most growing markets for us, and today is really important in our revenue. And we started in packaging in 2013, I think. Okay, our first digital press was 2007, and today we produce these three models: the 1260, the 1750, and the 1890. This is the width of every model, all of them with the feeder and the stacker. Only the 1750 and 1890 has the capability to print 2 sheets at the same time. You can also print different images or different variable data even in every row in these 2 models, and all of them has the possibility to work with variable data, and all of them works up to 80 meters per minute, and all of them can print from E flute to even AAA, which is not in the list, flute, which is almost more than half an inch, 15 millimeters. Our strengths basically are faced on these 5 points, which are the soul of Barberan. One of them is the freedom for the customer to choose the ink supplier. We have 5 or 6, well, depending on the market, we have five ink suppliers that can supply the ink for our machines and can adapt even the ink for your needs. Okay, this is something that our good partners are doing, and we are lucky because we count with 5 of them, with 3 of the most best sellers of highest or biggest companies of ink in the world, which are Toyo, Sakata INX, and Cauchy Migraph. Also, we have another point, which is the real variable data platform. It's something that we have created this year. It is that we have, even our machines were capable to print variable data since 2 years. The customers weren't comfortable with this feature, and in the end, we have created a platform where we create the job and prepare the samples for the customer. So then they don't need to have software engineers or electronic engineers that have to understand how to create that job. Another point is the production inspection and correction module. That module is not a toy. It's not just a camera that looks the image and reports of the errors to the operator. This module is linked with the GIS5 software, and it's correcting by itself the alignment and also problems of different tonality in between print heads and so on automatically, making it really a useful tool. Also, we have a useful maintenance contract. It is a contract all following our philosophy, which is not to go to the customer place just to replace a print head or just to clean the machine, and that's all. Our maintenance contract is based in the sharing of knowledge together with the customer. If the customer, for instance, has people that has lost a little bit the training that we did in Barberan or something like that, always with the maintenance contact, we are keeping that knowledge and that level of exigence of the machine maintenance with these visits that we do 3 or 4 times in a year. And the best is our team. Everything in Barberan is based on these people that most of you know very well, and they are the base of everything in Barberan, not only in digital, but these engineers are really the soul of Barberan and the ones that are keeping all our machines and our customers satisfied. So here you can see how we did the samples in the Smurfit Kappa facilities. This is not a new machine. I wanted to show this machine because this machine is from 2013. One was, I think, the second machine we built. It was done for Smurfit Kappa. It has the color of Smurfit Kappa, not our color, and it's still running like the first day. We did a maintenance or an upgrade. I think it was 2 years ago to keep it upgraded, and it still is printing from like the first day. During the upgrade, we had to replace only 30 print heads. That from 2013, I have to tell you that it is something that we have to put on the record Guinness. Okay. So when we receive the samples, when we receive the samples that were delivered to Castelldefels, due to pandemic, we couldn't send them by plane to Czech Republic, so we sent them by truck. And it took almost 2 days to arrive from Barcelona to Castelldefels to Czech Republic because they had many stops due to pandemic, isn't it? So now is your time, Jaron. Okay, here you are.
Thank you, Radio. Thank you, Sheila. So we all know today that the pre-press is 100% done digitally. And we see that the digital printing is rising up rapidly and growing fast every year. And we in Highcon, we define the finishing area as a place, an area that need to be also taken, move into digital. And this is where we are standing at the moment today for more than 10 years. Go on, please, Sheila. So today we have quite a few machines spread all over the globe for commercial printers, folding carton companies, and corrugated companies as well. Some of our customers have multi-sites, and we see 15% of our customers already put on repeat orders, meaning that people like what we do. Going into the technology of the platform technology itself, if we look on the inside of the machine, what we do is we pass the sheets landscape through a registration table that takes care of mechanical and optical registration. Then the sheets are moving into the first station, not like analog machines that have everything in one pass. We do it in a single pass, what we divided the crease lines and the cutting lines into two separate areas. So the first one for the creasing, what we call DART, is for digital adhesive rule technology. This is where you see the movie on the right side, how it's being actually made on the machine itself. We write the polymer, it's like a 3D printing, like a paste, and then we cure it with the UV lamp. Then the sheets pass through the second station of an array of 3 powerful lasers that work in parallel in a very sophisticated algorithm that we created, and keep on going to the next station, which is number 6, which is this integrated stripping unit, which doesn't affect any setup or the speed, and of course doesn't cost you any additional cost for this. So this is the main platform of how our machinery is working. So for the corrugated products, we can offer today 2 machines. The first machine is the Highcon Euclid 5C. This is a machine that can run up to 2,250 sheets per hour, support up to a B flute, and is very good for short runs. If we're looking at companies like that deal with web to pack, for example, it's very suitable for them. And the other machine is the Highcon Beam 2C, which can be offered in two types. One is a pallet-based, and the second one is a non-stop configuration, which actually this machine was supposed to be presented the first time at Drupa and was supposed to be the highlight of our show. And actually Drupa was supposed to be actually as we speak, but unfortunately we're all sitting at home and watching webinars instead. So that's the machine, and they're of course all available, but at the moment you can just see them in the by remote.
Sorry, that machine was going to use a bottom feeder, isn't it?
Yes, a bottom feeder and a non-stop stacker as well, of course, with like exists in the market. Yes. Looking at the Highcon benefits, we identified 5 major benefits that we want to highlight. First is the speed to market, which of course everything is done in-house. You don't need for any additional company to bring your product into to your facility. We deal with all the short runs that are becoming to be more and more common today. By doing that, we improve the process of itself inside the factory. We can free the analog machines to do what they do best without any stop all the time for the short runs. You don't need to wait for the dies to come from another place. Another rising segment is the online, which we see more and more companies using online. It's very good, as I mentioned, for web to pack or for e-commerce, for example. And of course, very important to remember the sustainability. That is a very, very important thing that Highcon can give a lot of benefit for that. For example, the BCT, the box comparison test. If you see the box on the bottom, what we did, we cut many B-flute boards. All of them are the same, but just the two that are marked are cut by the Highcon machine, and all the others were cut conventionally. And you can see how they're crashed and lose from their strength. So what we allow you, we actually allow you to use this thinner substrate by maintaining the structural strength of the board itself. And Eladio, I believe in the digital printing, it's about the same. Eladio, you're muted, so.
Yeah, sure. In the digital printing, we have exactly the same. We have seen that our customers can reduce the quantity of paper due to our technology, which is not creasing the board. So we keep the compressive strength completely alive. I have to tell something more. It seems that also the UV inks helps to increase the compressive strength of the boxes.
Perfect.
Okay, so now we're going to see those same boxes being produced on the Highcon, right?
Yep, exactly. So this movie was filmed at TIM in the Czech Republic, one of our Highcon customers that own the Beam 2C, the pallet-based platform. So as you see, they will be running the sheets that have been that came from Barberan, from Smurfit Kappa. We run them through the machine. You can see it's running on a bit more than 1,500 sheets per hour in this case.
Printed side down.
Printed side down, of course, like in the conventional industry. This is how we reproduce the sheets for the corrugated market. Running through the dart station, the creasing station, and going into the cutting chamber when all the very fast cutting is happening, and into the stripping station, which is the last one, when all the small particles are falling apart.
So you don't need an extra tool for the stripping?
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's an integrated stripping tool. You don't need to waste not any time, and it doesn't affect any speed. And in a few seconds, you'll see the result themselves. The operator will be taking the sheets out. Of course, adapted to the situation, covered and secured.
Gloves and masks.
So yeah, I see very fast you get your product ready and done. And ready to be shipped. You can see on the back of me a few of the samples ready. And here you go with your products ready.
So why those 4 boxes, Elad?
Yeah, the history of these boxes started because, as you know, during this year, 2020, we were going to celebrate also the Olympic Games in Tokyo. And the slogan of the Olympic Games is Altius, Titius, Fortius, which means the tallest, the fastest, and the strongest. And we wanted to add also the more adapted, like a characteristic which is key for our Yard Masters. Okay, not only the strongest, not only the fastest, not only the tallest, but also the most adapted to the environment. And I think that that's why the reason of these boxes that we were going to do together with you, Yaran.
Yeah, and luckily all of them fit to the messaging and values we're trying to highlight here during this presentation. So you can see very fine and nice boxes ready as samples.
And it all ties in really well with the benefits that you've both been talking about of digital technology for both printing and for finishing. We've talked about the relevance, the ability to cope with, to adapt, to cope with uncertain, fluctuating inventories during the pandemic. Just our demonstration of creating and producing these 4 boxes, despite all the limitations. The agility, as we like to call it, the ability to make last-minute changes, edits, whether it's mistakes, edits, or design changes, that immediately leads to time to market. The ability of customers to adapt, to live their digital strategy, which helps them adapt to the uncertain times that we're all living in at the moment. And of course, the sustainability and the cost benefits of BCT, the whole non-crush process, which in both printing and finishing can save between 15 to 30% of board costs. Mm-hmm. Digital printing, the revolution hit the commercial print market about 20 years ago, but it's only just coming to corrugated. And that's largely because of the entry of single pass digital presses like the Barberan, as well as the Highcon digital and cutting and creasing machines. Together, I think we offer brands the agility for just-in-time production combined with brand consistency and innovation and shelf appeal, all the way down to the little brown box that we associate with corrugated.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think,
Yeah, exactly. But not only that, opens a new opportunities. We have a customer also in United States who is printing in the back. I mean, so when you open, you have the brown box, and when you open, you have that surprise, which is printed in the inner side, which is the side that many times you cannot print because the paper quality is less. But in our case, we can print it with high quality, and also we can cut it with your system.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have time for questions and answers. We have a couple of questions already. I'll throw them out to both of you. First of all, what is the speed and format of the Highcon machine, Yaron?
Yeah, so the Highcon machine, the Beam 2C platform can go up to 73 linear meters. So that's, it's up to, because of course it depends on the layout itself, but it's very close to what the Barberan machine can offer in terms of speed.
Then somebody else has asked, can the 2 machines be integrated for a full workflow automation?
Yeah, they can, but also in our case, there's that will have a limitation on the sizes that you can cut. For instance, in our machine, we can print up to 5 meters long pieces. That will be not possible to cut with the laser, but anyway, it will be possible to do a pass through the line, for instance, and deliver directly to the stacker without doing anything in the laser.
Yaron, when will the non-stop Beam 2C be delivered?
The non-stop Beam 2C is available. As I mentioned, it was supposed to be presented the first time at Drupa, and you can, right after the webinar will end, you can just start signing and buy a few if you want to.
And that same question again, if I wanted a nearline integrated solution, would I be able to have it?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it will be just a question to integrate both machines and the software, but it is, as you know, most of you know, this is not a problem for Barberan. Okay, if we have a non-stop line, it is like to put the machine, the Highcon machine just after the press.
There's another question. Can you repeat the max and minimum size for cutting? Yaron.
For the Highcon machine, as I mentioned, that we support today on the Beam, in the Euclid and the Beam, and the Beam 2C, the maximum size is 76 by 106 millimeters.
What else? What is the lifespan of the creasing polymer of the Highcon?
When the polymer is produced on the machine, it can hold up to 50,000 sheets. And actually you can repeat the job. You can take it back and forth up to 5 times and keep on using it, as I mentioned, up to 50,000 sheets.
Okay, any more questions?
Yeah, I have one for Jaron.
Yes.
The lifetime of the creasing sheet will depend also on the quality of the paper or not.
Usually not. Where we can use almost every kind of substrate. Actually, in corrugated boards, where we see that it's even better and it holds even more. But yeah, we don't really mind at the moment the type of the substrate itself.
Because it started with carton, no, and carton has to be, it is stronger. Yeah, I understand.
Exactly. Yeah, we started our journey in about 10 years ago with supporting the machines for cardboard, and just in 2018 we started to support the corrugated market, and we see that we fit very well for the requirements and demands for this market.
I'm having fun with the wonders of Zoom. Somebody's raised a hand, and I have to see how I can find them in order to allow them to ask a question. Christian, you wanted to answer a question. You wanted to ask a question.
Hi, Sheila, Christian. Yeah, I wanted to
Hi,
find out about the lifetime of the lasers and whether they are upgradable.
So the lasers themselves, they can stand for more than 5 years, and if you're under a service contract, it's not something you need to be concerned about. It's everything has been taken care of. We actually have some of our machines run more than 5 or 6 years, and we never needed to replace any laser in this case. So you don't need to be concerned about that. Any other questions?
I've got one other question. Somebody's asking about the disadvantages, but I would say comparison between laser cutting creases versus Highcon polymer creases.
So first, it is important to mention that we are creating real physical crease lines. It's not that we're doing it with any partial cut by the laser. It's real crease lines, as you've seen before in the presentation. They're all done with a polymer, and measuring it with very accurate equipment that is accepted in the market. We know today that we reach the requests for the market in terms of strength, and as I mentioned, for BCT, and actually in some cases we see it even more consistent and more stable than other conventional crease lines.
There's another question here, which it goes to, we keep talking about agility and flexibility, and there's a question here about, can we control the size of the creasing rules depending on the flute type and direction? And that's exactly the point, isn't it?
It's exactly the point, yes. And as I mentioned, the Euclid and the Beam 2C that can support between F flute up to C flute, and yes, we can change the thickness of the crease lines. It's actually done just by an algorithm. You don't need to physically change it. We just need, by changing the algorithm, we choose the correct substrate, and then we can apply more or less material in different speeds, and this is what actually creates the thickness of the rule to support the correct substrate.
Eladio, there's a question here. Based on the maximum size of the Highcon machine, how many sheets can fit on the Barberan?
Yeah, exactly. If we use one of our wider machines, okay, the printing in double printing, we can fit all this production in a Highcon machine, okay? But we have to consider that the maximum size we can cut, it is 1 meter per 700, I think. But in double feeding, the machine of Highcon will be capable to cut all of them. Okay, all the production of our digital press.
There's another question for you. How many single pass digital printing machines are installed worldwide?
How many? I mean, I don't know, but probably it will be around 70 today. I mean, if we talk about packaging or corrugated, it will be around 35, something like that. But I mean, talking about all the industry, about the deco and packaging, it will be much more, mostly arriving to the hundreds of machines probably.
Another question for both of you, the setup time on the machine for new jobs.
You want to
Okay,
start?
our machine, I will talk about digital press. If you change the size of the board, it will be like 5 minutes, from 5 minutes to 6 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, and for the Highcon machine, it should take approximately 10 to 15 minutes. It depends on the amount of crease lines you have, but that's your setup. Just important to say that our setup, of course, you don't really have a physical die, so you don't need to wait sometimes days or weeks for a week. It's from you get the actual file till you go into production, it's about 10 minutes.
Another one for you, Jan. Are you considering bringing a bigger machine in the future? As for corrugated, it seems to be a little small.
Yeah, so we're aware for the market and we know the concerns, and yes, it's on our roadmap for sure.
Somebody else has asked whether the laser cutting presumably has any effect or discoloring on the Barberan ink.
No,
Yes.
no, I mean, we have, we can send, if this customer wants, we can send him the samples in order that he can see. These samples that you can see here are fully printed. They are not brown boxes. They are boxes that has been printed on brown. But even in the white area, in the back, you cannot see any minor smoke or whatever.
Yeah, I can add to that. I can show you a close insight from the back of the sheet. And
Hold on. We'll make you spotlight.
So spotlight me.
I'll stop sharing.
Yeah, so you see it from the reverse and you don't see any discoloration or whatever it is. So we know the quality is very, very high. You can turn me back not to be spotlighted. So we know that the quality, due to the very fast and powerful lasers, we avoid any discoloration or colors that you don't like to have on the boards.
Thank you very much, Eladio, for joining us today.
It has been a pleasure.
Any other questions that people had, they can send to us to the 2 email addresses. We'd like to thank everybody who joined us, and we look forward to meeting you all again soon at another webinar. We'll be talking.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.